Welcome to Music and Message. This is a weekly series that features musical performances and spoken reflection from a diversity of religious and spiritual perspectives. These gatherings seek to invite all learners into the fullness of life, and we begin by acknowledging with respect the Onondaga Nation, firekeepers of the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, the indigenous peoples on whose ancestral lands Syracuse University now stands. My name is Ann Laver, and I am Assistant Professor of Organ and the University Organist here. I also have the privilege of serving as Artistic Director of the Malmgren Concert Series here in Hendricks Chapel. Thanks to a generous endowment in honor of Esther and Vincent Malmgren, Hendricks Chapel is able to offer a handful of special concerts each year within our regular music and message series. This is often a chance for us to host guest artists or put on large collaborations with our Setner School of Music ensembles. Today, we have an opportunity to lift up our own wonderful faculty with a program featuring the music of Setner faculty member Natalie Draper. Natalie is a wonderful colleague and friend, and she has contributed greatly to our campus musical life in the 2.5 years she's been here on the faculty. Not only is she deeply valued here in Syracuse, her music has received national honors and recognition. For instance, her work, Time-Lapse Variations, garnered numerous positive reviews in the Baltimore Sun and Fanfare magazine, and it served as the soundtrack for a short NASA film featuring the music of glaciologist Joe McGregor. Natalie has received commissions to write works for solo piano, solo organ, solo voice, and various chamber ensembles by distinguished musicians and organizations. She has held residencies and fellowships at the U Cross Foundation, the Tanglewood Music Center, the iPark Foundation, and Yaddo. On a personal note, I got to work with Natalie this past spring and summer on a multifaceted project regarding composing for the organ. I got to see Natalie's dedication to her craft up close. We are very fortunate to have her on our faculty. Thank you for being with us today, Natalie, and for all you do for the students here. I'd also like to thank my other faculty colleagues who agreed to perform on this concert today. We have an all-star cast, including Ken Meyer, instructor of guitar, Jose Pepe Calvar, associate professor of choral conducting and associate director of choral activities, Eliza DeCaney, associate dean for research, graduate studies, and internationalization in VPA, and professor of music education, Wendy Moy, assistant professor of music education, and John Warren, director of choral activities and professor of choral conducting. Joel Taranjo, a second-year graduate choral conducting student, will be leading our faculty vocal quartet today. This performance is part of his conducting portfolio this semester. And I'd also like to thank graduate student organist Augustin Sobang, who will be assisting me with the organ piece. Thank you all for being here. Our program today is being offered almost exclusively online. We have just a few people in the audience according to campus guidelines surrounding COVID-19. And we thank all of you who are watching online. We're glad you're tuning in today. So at this point, I'm going to conclude my opening remarks and invite Ken Meyer to the stage to kick off this program.
Oh, send us your light. Oh, send us your truth. Oh, send us your light. Oh, send us your truth. Oh, send us your light, your truth. Oh, send us your light, your truth. Let them lead me, let them lead me, let them bring me to thy holy hill. Out of the depth have I cried to thee. send out your truth.
Professor of Music Composition and Theory here at the Setner School of Music at Syracuse University. First, I just want to give thanks to Annie Laver for the very warm welcome. I also would like to thank the Malmgren Concert Series at Hendricks Chapel for supporting this concert. I really want to thank all of the performers who are taking part in today's concert, either live or in a pre-recorded fashion. Ken Meyer, who you heard playing the guitar pieces, Wendy Moy, Elisa DeCaney, John Warren, Pepe Calvar, and Joel Turanjo on the I'm correcting myself, on the beautiful vocal quartet. You'll hear in a minute Acropolis Reed Quintet performing a studio recording of a piece that I wrote for them a couple years ago. And the last piece you'll hear of mine will be performed by Annie Laver. Thank you. I can't tell you all how meaningful it is for me to hear you all perform my music in general, but especially during these difficult times and spaced out as need be. The Music and Message series this semester has been exploring the theme of beauty and brokenness, which actually ties in quite effectively not only to the nature of the challenging year that we are in, but also to how I think about composition in general. Life is not and has never been easy, but it is always sliced through with splinters of light and beauty. While people can act in ways that are disappointing, they also can act with profound kindness and intelligence. While nature can be cruel, it can also be breathtakingly gorgeous. We are in a period of dramatic upheaval, what often feels like exhausting upheaval, but it's crucial that we remind ourselves that it's a period of upheaval because we all want a better, more just world. It's not true to reality to just focus on the difficulties of 2020. That would ignore the immense energy for justice that currently exists, the immense energy and hope for a different future, which is quite a beautiful thing. But it also isn't true to ignore all that is frightening about these times, the hatred that exists, the corruption, and the pain and the losses caused by the pandemic injustice, and so many other aspects of the world that simply feel broken. For me, art is about truth. It's about honestly reflecting the world around us in some way. I want to be able to hold what is beautiful and what is broken, and to look at both these things with my eyes wide open and to consider them. I strive to write music that gives me, and I hope the listener, the space to do this. Art is about the reality of the world that we are in, which is a complex mess of wonderful and difficult things. I have found over and over again in each piece I write that for me, an honest reflection of my experience of what I want to say is one that is filled with both hope and some degree of melancholy. I am forever hopeful, but also forever aware that we aren't where we should be, as people, as a society, as a country, as a global community. And this awareness requires some amount of grief and introspection. I've always been drawn to music that gets at this tone, one of melancholy and hope all mixed up together. For the music students in the audience, this tone reminds me of the uneasiness of chromatic harmony, of dissonances that are allowed to coexist with consonances, of unusual sonorities that sometimes end up in a hazy tonal framework. Within the last couple of years, since even before the pandemic, I've been finding myself writing piece after piece that just wants to be something quiet and reflective. I am exhausted by the news cycle, as I'm sure we all are. I am exhausted by so much that I'm seeing in the world that is frustrating. I've been needing my music to be a space for introspection, for healing, and for beauty. The music that you have heard and the music that you will hear in a bit all reflect this aim. These are quiet pieces, and I don't mean that in terms of dynamics or volume, I mean that in terms of character. They are introspective works. Soliloquy and Hints of a Song that you heard Ken perform are solo guitar works that I wrote for him in the last year or so. Soliloquy offers space for meditative inquiry, while hints of a song offers hazy memories of expressive melodies and perhaps happier times. "Oh, Send Out Your Light," which you heard the vocal quartet perform, is from a set of 3 choral works originally written for a friend's choir in Baltimore, all focusing on some of the more meditative and philosophically searching lines from the Psalms. Music of Foghorns and Seabirds, which you will hear next, was written for the Acropolis Reed Quintet, who performed on this concert series last February. These movements offer hazy impressions of the murky and beautiful eeriness of an empty seashore. They are an homage to nature, to the memory of being in that environment. A few of my recent pieces have also been about the earth, a loving tribute as we all take stock of the ravages of climate change. This piece is truly a soundscape. Feel free to close your eyes during it. The music is acting as the foghorns and the seabirds, so hopefully you can imagine that. It will be against a video where you will see a picture of the group, as well as pictures of the ocean. In many ways, this piece is a nod to the Impressionist tradition and to one of my absolute favorite composers, Claude Debussy. The last piece of mine on this program, 3 Meditations for Organ, were written for Annie Laver this past summer and premiered in September. These movements are like abstract memories of a church service, someone perhaps searching for the solace that one might find from a florid alleluia, a passionate prayer, and a slow, simple amen. Laced throughout all of these works are recurring themes: meditation, searching, environment, place, and memory. To me, this is what I find true about the world and about life. The world is a beautiful, complicated, and dark place. We can't ignore the ways in which it is dark, and we must always search for ways to make it better, to send out our light. Melancholy, so we have space to honestly grieve what is broken, and hope, so we have space to appreciate the beauty that exists and that can exist in the future. It is my hope that in at least one of these pieces, you find the auditory space to reflect on the broken beauty of everything around us. I am deeply grateful for this performance, and I am deeply grateful to you all for tuning in and listening. Thank you so much.
and be gracious unto you, and be gracious